One of the best things about being a filmmaker is seeing all the new tools and toys coming out and making our lives easier. Some are really good and some are just okay. Over the past few weeks, I've gotten a chance to test several of them and share my honest thoughts with you. I'm going to briefly go over the pros and cons I've found and let you know if it's a keep or a pass. Full disclaimer, some of the items were sent to me, but I don't have any obligation to say anything particular. The first item takes us back to a shoot I did in Chicago where I was eager to test out some of the new kit. I picked up one of these Smallrig RF10Cs, which are RGB, and when they mean RGB, it actually stands for red, green, and blue. It doesn't give you all the different hues between those. It caught my eye off another YouTube video where I was thinking to myself, this could be something really cool, a light that gives you a spotlight effect and the ability to mount gobos and give your image a little bit more texture for around $60. My first impression is that it's kind of a glorified flashlight with a solid metal construction, with built-in battery charging via USB-C and a tripod thread to mount it to a light stand. It doesn't include a ball head or a small spigot adapter, but they do give you plenty of gobos to choose from in addition to a rubber holster. Using it was fairly underwhelming. Turning it on, you press the button and then you have to rotate the knob, which was a little cumbersome to use. In addition, not being bicolor means it was quite limiting to the red, green, blue, and daylight. I mostly kept it on daylight for this particular shoot, but I could see it coming in handy for small product shoots. Especially with the output being maximum 10 watts, it was difficult to actually get enough power out of it to see against other light fixtures. Finally, the rubber holster does have the ability to collapse where you can get some control over the zoom, but nothing that really made a huge difference. For me, this is a pass, but again, I think for small product shoots, this could be quite nifty. The second tool was sent out to me and I did get to test it on the Chicago shoot as well as a shoot I did today here in New York, and is the new Neewer Vlog battery. It has a few tricks up its sleeve, supporting 99 watts of juice. It has a mostly plastic exterior with a small screen at the back to give you status on your battery percentage and your outputs. It's really cool to see how far Vlogs have come with the ability for this one to charge via USB-C, avoiding the hassle of carrying a big bulky charger, which I used to do back in the day. And either of the two USB-C slots can output enough power to charge my 16-inch MacBook Pro. On top of that, there are two DC ports, 8 volt and a 12 volt, in addition to a USB-A port and a D-tap port on the side here. The D-tap port is a little poorly placed, being on the side here, especially with a lot of cameras having the flip screen, it gets in the way sometimes. A cool thing is you can connect it to your phone and monitor all the outputs and inputs in addition to just checking on the status of the battery. This I can see being really helpful if you had a bunch of these or you're just a little further away from your camera and you want to check that your battery still has charge. Besides the D-tap port placement and potentially the doors being a little finicky, I think having a battery like this just in the bag, doubling up as a battery bank in addition to being able to power a camera and a monitor for at least half a day shoot is solid. For me, this is a keep. For the shoot we did today, we did pick up something quite niche, which is the Tiffin close-up lens kit. They come in a set of 3, a 1+, a 2+, and a 4+, and in a really nice case. These will run you around $150, which is about $50 per filter, which I think is fairly affordable. We threw these on a 35mm and an 85mm today, going through the whole range between a 1 to the 2 and the 4. The 4 gets you extremely close, which is really cool. And I think a really affordable option for a macro lens. We did purchase the 77mm option and then just use step-up rings to get them on different lenses. The only drawback to using these is you are a little slowed down as you don't have the full focal range anymore once you put these on. So when we wanted to focus to infinity, we had to quickly screw them off. These are extremely niche, but I think perform really well. Unfortunately for us, it is a pass, but could be something to use in the future. Next up is this Vlog plate that Neewer also sent over. It's pretty cool as it is fairly modular. There are two main parts, one being the base plate itself, where it attaches through an Arca Swiss plate, in addition to having an Arca Swiss plate at the bottom, which is mounted horizontally, and then it gives you the Vlog plate at the back here, in addition to a Ronin style plate, where you can take this off and connect this bottom plate to a Ronin. It's really cool that it's extremely modular, and these connect together through a NATO style rail, so you can also attach this to other NATO plates. I think the only drawback to it being so modular is that there is a little bit of play when you do attach something to it. It's not extreme that it's unusable, but it's definitely there. It does also have the ability to extend and give you a little bit more screen real estate, or putting extra cables in here, which is nice. And I love that it does work with the Smallrig cage here, where it does have a safety pin when you do use it with the included Aqua Swiss plate, but they've engineered it so if you do want to use a different style, it can actually fit in a little groove here safely away. Pretty thoughtful. I think in the future, I would love a small battery plate to go here, so that way it has an additional DTAP port, and when I want to disconnect my battery, I won't have to unplug it from the battery itself. But for now, I really appreciate how compact it is, so it is a keep. Next up, taking us back to Chicago, is the Zhiyun MOLUS X100 Pro. I didn't look at many reviews before trying this, but I was extremely excited to get a light that is small to test out so I can bring on other shoots. Especially when traveling, lighting is always such a space consumer. Unboxing the light, I wasn't disappointed at all. It is about the size of my palm and extremely thin. Although it doesn't give me the same output as my 120D, it's crazy that it almost does. Also being bicolor, ranging from 2700 Kelvin to 6500 Kelvin, makes it really versatile. The light itself can be powered through an AC cable, which comes included, or a USB-C cable. You can power it through a proprietary battery bank, which does come included, but in my experience, doesn't give you that much runtime. In the box, it does include a small reflector and softbox, which uses their proprietary mount, as well as a Bowens adapter, which has an inbuilt reflector to ensure you get the maximum output. Again, the size really blew me away, especially comparing it to something like my old Aperture F7. Weighing only 385 grams, it was really cool until I started using it. As mentioned, the battery bank doesn't really last all that long, and if you do want to charge it, you have to charge it separately to using the light. When using the light, I use the AC power, which is okay, but it doesn't have a lock to lock it in, so it fell out quite a few times. Since the head of the light is so lightweight, you don't have to use such a bulky light stand, which is nice, but I did find overall it was a little cumbersome to keep it powered. Unfortunately, this mount didn't arrive in the mail in time before the shoot, which is a V-lock adapter to a clamp, which would have worked perfectly. I think this light is geared more towards enthusiasts compared to professionals, but I would love to see them make a professional version with locking connectors and more universal power options. For those reasons, the MOLUS was a pass. We did pair this light with a Smallrig softbox, which worked flawlessly. It's 90 centimeters and is not extremely deep, so you can get it in quite small spaces. It comes with double diffusion and an egg crate and was extremely easy to set up. I'm not sure if they stole the patent off Aperture, but I really appreciated how quick I was able to set it up. It is a little shallower than the Aperture Dome 3, so it doesn't give you as soft of a light, but I think for the price point, you can't go wrong. I didn't keep this one, but I can easily see myself using it again in the future. The final tool is this Neewer light stand, which I was excited to try out since it's made out of carbon fiber. It's extremely light and great for traveling since I'm on the road a lot. It folds in on itself to save space, and I just threw it in a small duffel to take it to Chicago. I do like it that it does have quite a wide base, so it makes it fairly stable. My only two gripes with it is that when you go to extend it, you can't twist the segments, which makes it difficult to adjust the angle of the light quickly. On top of that, I wish they made it slightly smaller so it does fit in my Pelican 1510, but as it stands, it is just a fraction too big. So if you are looking for a light stand to fit within your 1510, you might be better off going for one of the small Manfrotto ones, which fold in on itself. I don't think those give you a very sturdy base, unlike this one. That's where you can see my dilemma. And that wraps up this short episode. Thank you so much for making it to the end. As a DP and director here in New York, I have plenty of other tools that I can take a look at. Or if there's a particular item that you're interested in, definitely let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.